How the heck are you doing today? This is Rish here from Meru Accounting, and today we'll be discussing on bookkeeping for financial companies. So, in this presentation, I'd like to explain you how we do bookkeeping typically for financial companies and how we ensure accurate books of accounts for them. So, bookkeeping for financial companies mainly includes this parts. So, it can be for direct consumer loans, mortgage loans, retail financing. It can be for factoring as well as revolving loans and various other types of loans. So, I'll explain a few. Direct consumer loans is the loan given directly to a consumer, where there is a direct dealing with the end businesses. Mortgage loans is where it's the loan is given to the end consumer, along with there is a mortgage element involved where a property is being mortgaged. And retail sales financing mainly is for related to factoring activities, where the invoices are being factored and a short-term working capital loan is being provided to the business. So we'll deep dive into each of this and we'll explain how to do bookkeeping for those. Yeah. So here, let's discuss about the mortgage loans. So mortgage loans are basically where there is a levy and a mortgage given on certain assets, and then the loan is given. So, and the period span of those mortgage loan is also more, and these are generally for real estate projects. And this mortgage loans can also be assigned to another mortgage companies. So we need to ensure that the mortgage loans are correctly accounted for, and then so there can be two types: purchase money mortgage as well as reverse mortgage. And then there is direct consumer loans. So these are loans that are repayable in installments, and before doing that loans, a credit worthiness check is being done and ensures that collateral is being given against that. So each with the each received of the installment, we need to ensure that the principal and interest element of that are being bifurcated to ensure that it's being recorded correctly. So the principal repayment goes towards the loan, and the interest element is recorded into the profit and loss account. Retail sales financing. Uh, and this are generally the discounted amount which is received to the receiver. Say, for example, if some company is going to receive a certain amount of money after 2 or 3 months, and if they want to get that money now, they can come to factoring services, and they get finances done out of that. So this is the retail sales financing. It's more of a working capital loan, and it's for a shorter period of time. And and then there are also other commercial financing agreements where like the loan given against property, plant and equipment, uh, given against other assets, against the notes, and various other things. However, the we need to understand the bookkeeping part of them and how it's done. So we'll also deep dive into the factoring and each of uh, the nuances of this. So in factoring services, you need to ensure uh, that the money coming in, say for example, if we are doing a bookkeeping on behalf of a factoring company, I need to ensure that the money coming in is divided into two parts: the factoring fees that is being received, as well as the principal amount of the invoice payment. Say for example, an invoice of $1,000 is being factored, then the factoring company would be paying $950 to the company who has got the bills. So $50 is their income, which needs to accounted for as a factoring income. And so there are various other types of factoring, which is mature factoring, advanced factoring. I'm not going into details into that. And revolving loans are working capital loans. It's like a limit where the financing company provides with them a limit until which they can borrow the money from the lender, and then soon they can repay that loan. So this is good for seasonal types of businesses where they have got requirement of working capital during one period, and then repay back once all of the sales is done. There can be receivables portfolio purchase agreement, whereby one mortgage company would be purchasing whole of the portfolio of another mortgage company, and so we need to ensure that the accounting for that is done correctly. And then installment loan. There can be various installments received, as I discussed. Principal and interest element of those needs to be accounted for correctly. uh, Floor plan loans. So they are wholesale loans, and they are for inventory purchases mainly, and uh, and these are against collateral of inventory that's being purchased. So it helps them to purchase the inventory specifically, and then they can pay off that when the inventory is being sold. Leases can be divided into two parts, operating lease and a financing lease. You need to check the applicability, whether that lease would be classified as a financing lease or an operating lease. The bookkeeping that needs to be done on both the lease would be completely different. So you need to ensure that it's being done correctly. This is more on the leases, but then there's whole accounting standard onto that, and we need to very deep dive into that in order to understand that. So I'm not touching base upon that. For insurance services, we need to ensure that in for the insurance payments, that some of them needs to be paid back to the rebrokers who would be underwriting those insurance. So need to ensure that only the revenue amount of that insurance services is being accounted for. There are many types of loans, which have interest-bearing loan, and there will be unearned interest on that. So a separate bookkeeping for unearned interest needs to be done, as well as there will be pre-compute loans where there will be a difference between the amount payable and the amount receivable, and the difference between that will be accounted for as an income of the lender. Now moving to some of the accounting terminologies which would be used for bookkeeping for finance companies. So interest on loan would be received. There would be a commission received when there is a factoring, and there would be interest on investments as well. So this would be the major categories of income and how to account for them. So we have explained in detail how to do bookkeeping for them. Uh, there is whole of the standard in order to ensure that measurement and recognition of uh, those income is being done correctly. We have explained that. Rebates needs to be account, and those are a part of the loan. So they need to be accounted correctly. Uh, yeah. And accounting for factoring commission. So, as explained in the previous example, there will be a difference between the amount that will be received and that's being paid on accounting of factoring. So, that will be accounted as factoring commission. So accounting for repossessed assets. So when there is a liquidation and the acquired, there will be a difference between the amount book and what's the value or fair value of the property that's being acquired. So we need to square off the loan and ensure that the cost of repossessed assets and the amount outstanding as per the book are met, and the balance account is being accounted as a loss or an income. So there would be some holdbacks as well. Sometimes there are holdbacks and reserves that are being held back by finance companies. Well, we need to make sure that those are not expensed out to income statement, and they are kept as an asset that will be received in future. Uh, and then again, this relates to factoring, and then there will be various fees that needs to be paid. For example, there are originated fees, commitment fees, and delinquency fees. So this all the fees would be expanded out, and there would be as a calculate expense in profit and loss account. There are certain refundable fees need to ensure that those are not accounted as expense in profit and loss account, and they are kept in balance sheet as assets. So these are the sample accounting entries which can be uh, done. You can note this down for bookkeeping for a typical finance industry. Yeah. So that's all. I hope I was able to help you to understand at a high level on bookkeeping nuances for finance companies. We at Meru Accounting, we provide complete bookkeeping services for our clients. I'll be happy to help you on your bookkeeping requirements. You can schedule a call with the link which has been provided right at the bottom of the video. Thank you. Have a nice day.